All right, so step number one is to go to Fiverr.com. Now, this is just one of those gig marketplaces. Freelancer.com is another one I know about. I'm just familiar with Fiverr.com, and that's Fiverr.com. I'll have all the links in the show notes, so you can feel free to pop over to there so you can get the details on that. But you go to Fiverr.com, and step number two is you want to search out a virtual assistant that specializes in whatever channel that you want to try to communicate with your leads on. So for me, I'm using LinkedIn as the main way to try to warm up my leads. So I got to have LinkedIn URLs so I can find the people. And I also need to have an email for them, because I'm also going to do email marketing. So those are my two channels that I'm really going to double down on. For you, it might be Instagram if you're trying to sell some products, especially some like consumer facing type products, like smaller, products that are under like, let's say $500. That's a really good place for you going B2C. But anyway, for me, B2B game is going to be email marketing, and LinkedIn is where I'm going to live. And step number three is you really got to spell it out for your virtual assistant. So after you find a virtual assistant that specializes in whatever channels and lead gen for you, then you want to spell out exactly what they got to do. So for me, what I did is I opened up a blank Excel sheet, filled in all the columns of information that I needed: first name, last name, email address, URLs to LinkedIn, websites, company names, and just laid out, spelled it out for them. So it's exactly how it needs to look. And the tool that my virtual assistant uses is LinkedIn Navigator. So after knowing how to use that, I also tell them exactly what to search within LinkedIn Navigator, saying I'm looking for people in Los Angeles, for companies between 50 to 200 people, blah, blah, blah. And you walk that out for them, like the exact same steps you would take if you were going to source those leads yourself. You want to write that out for the virtual assistant so they can go ahead and do it. Because, let's be honest, normally you're hiring someone that's in a different country. The guy that I'm working with is out of India. And so, matter of fact, I'll have his link because he did a pretty good job for me. I got to say, he charged me $7 for 50 leads. So that's roughly like 14 cents a lead. It was a pretty good deal. And really, I could have got a lot better if I'd have purchased more, but it's one of those things I wanted to test them out first. And I recommend that you try out some people, because I've had some questionable VAs in the past. So, I always want to try to give them a small project, see how they perform, see how fast they respond, see if, how the whole language barrier is, if there is any. Just make sure you guys are on the same page. So test them out, try a small sample size. I start with 50 leads. I'll probably up it up next time to 500 or so for the whole next run. But so I spell out exactly what I want them to go gather for me. He took less than 5 hours to get 50 leads back to me. Pretty quick turnaround, communicated very well. If he had any questions about trying to find some other people outside of Los Angeles, how far am I willing to travel? It seemed like he understood the whole lay of the land pretty easy. And within that time frame, they got to give you a really quick, filled out, completed Excel sheet. I take that Excel sheet, throw it in my CRM. I like using Nimble. I don't care if you don't have an agency or if if you're just working for your actual company, but I highly recommend that you go out and think about having your own separate CRM to keep all your contacts, personal, friends, family, everybody that you meet along the way. I think it's just a valuable tool to have for yourself. So I use Nimble with my main employer. We use HubSpot. I like HubSpot for a lot of different reasons, but Nimble is really quick and easy to use, pretty simplified, and you can track people on multiple different social media platforms so you can see how they're operating, what they're up to. That's what I like it for. So I upload my leads there. And then the last step is literally just doing homework. So, you walk through those leads that I got back from them, and instead of just sending out a mass email list, that's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of time, put a little bit of effort into it, and see whether these people are possible podcast guests for me. Could they be possible mentors? Like, I might ask some questions about the industry because I'm new to it. I want to learn. Are they my ideal clients, right? I got a nice little ICP profile, what I'm looking for. So, are they my ideal clients? If so, I'm going to find them on LinkedIn and start the nurturing process by liking some of their content, connecting with them on LinkedIn, and then trying to soften the blow before I go out and try to get into pitch mode and demoing mode. So anyway, that's my steps. Fiverr.com, find your virtual assistant based off the channels, upload that actual Excel sheet into your CRM, and then start doing your homework on understanding the people that are on that sheet and try to build some authentic connections. So hopefully that was valuable to you guys. And if it was, let me know, because I want to do more and more of this. I think there's some little hacks that I've learned along the way. I think a lot of people have already knew this tactic, but it never hurts, because sometimes you might catch somebody when they're looking for some new information, and maybe this will help you kind of gather up some brand new leads for yourself. If you found it valuable, please let me know. Hit me up on LinkedIn. This is where I want to kind of live for a little bit. I'm at Joe Alex Lemon on LinkedIn. Really just search Joe Lemon on LinkedIn. You should find me, but I'll have my link to my profile page if you want to connect there. You can also drop me a voice note here right through this podcast link. So Anchor set it up to where you can do voice notes now. So drop me a voice note. If you have a question, I can plug it right back into the episode. I think that's always kind of cool. I can get you incorporated into the show. And last but not least, I'm looking for influencers throughout the human resource world, like whether you're an HR tech or a recruiter. I mean, if you've got some meaningful thoughts around where the whole future of work is going, would love to talk to you. Would love to get your thoughts and opinions about where this industry is going and how you see it shaping up with people, and how companies are going to manage people wanting to work more remotely, especially with, I can think of a lot of different examples. One off the top, my friend just sent me an article about how, companies that are based in the Bay, where the average, 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment unit is going for roughly like $4,700 or $4,800 per month. They're now trying to force, a lot of people are looking to really encourage people to work remotely. Like places like Tulsa, Oklahoma, they're offering $10,000 just to go launch your startup in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's not a bad play. Something to think about, but so there's a lot of different angles here, and it's going to be, now that we have the technology that's really going to catch up to enable people to work from wherever they want to. I think more and more companies are going to start offering these to be something that's beyond just a perk for the, for the employee that's looking to work on their own terms. But I think it's going to become a mandatory thing due to some of just the higher cost of living in some of these places, and just the having a building. Do we all need to be in a building so we can be productive? I don't think so. I think those times have changed. So I want to have more and more of those conversations. If you have thoughts, please hit me up at my Joe Alex Lemon, wherever you are. I'll be able to see your message. And I would love to get your thoughts, and stay subscribed to the podcast so you can keep in touch with all the future episodes. Until next time, you guys be phenomenal.